Guys, I'm on that other schedule. I worked 60 hours, 60 hours last week. My goodness, how time just flies. Let's see where we are with cards. We've got Castle. This is a new card. Something to do with a castle. I was thinking about the Winchester Mystery House up in San Jose, even though that's not a castle. But there is that castle, the Hertz Castle in Morro Bay, or it could have something to do with someone who lives in a castle. Someone's being forced to be quiet. Belly rubs. Someone's putting themselves in a place of vulnerability. We've got a peacock. Maybe they're walking around a little bit kind of cocky, showing out. We've got a hospital here. Someone's way confident about themselves. Maybe they work at a hospital. Maybe they just need time to rest. Exclamation, they really need to rest. Strutting their stuff. Feeling really confident. And we've got the ghosts of ghouls. Ancestors, the past, being haunted. Trying to impress someone with the peacock. It's underneath a castle, so maybe someone's trying to impress someone with their wealth. Maybe someone feels like they're untouchable. Someone could be on guard. As well. And they're being advised not to say anything. Or they're being forced not to say anything or not get in contact with anyone. Because if they do, that would put them in a vulnerable position. Enunciating that. Success. Okay, bottom of the deck, we've got an oil change. Someone needs to change their oil, or maybe something is dirty and they need to clean it up. Something could be breaking down. Maybe someone's just plain overdue for an oil change. Split of the deck, we've got fellowship. Maybe someone needs to change their environment and how they process things. Got this opportunity, a fellowship opportunity. Maybe someone was given an opportunity to be part of a fellowship. And are they missing the opportunity? Are they even looking in its direction? We have assumptions here. Someone could have assumed that they had an opportunity somewhere. We've got highway, my way or the highway. Maybe they assumed someone was going to do things their way, and then now they're like, oh gosh, they didn't do it. Some kind of group. Exclamation, success, and Statue of Liberty coming out together. Maybe someone's got some freedom. Has something to do with New York. makes a command or statement, interjection, warning sign, heightened, important, surprise, excitement, anger, or joy, to draw attention to something significant, or to be forceful. And then, of course, we have the success. Trophy earned, well-deserved, winner, attention, fame, opportunity, hard work, paying off, success, overcame something. And then we've got the Statue of Liberty. This was a gift that was given to Americas from France. It was very expensive to ship. It came over in 2 parts, so maybe someone's going to find some kind of success and they're going to get a gift out of the success. Command or prohibit actions. Oh, that's a statute. But we've got opportunities, right? We've got to pay attention to. Don't make an assumption on something. Don't assume something. Maybe if somebody comes towards you, don't assume that you already know what it is that they're going to say. So you'll want to stop and listen. Yeah. Bless those who curse you, for you will be blessed. We've got a volcano. Something may be coming in with a lot of force, since we had the force over here erupting. They may be coming in to curse you. We've got face your fears with love. On either side of the volcano, we've got something that say, you know what, you need to really just stand your ground and just let the emotions just kind of flow, and still just stay in a good place. Don't be scared. Just face it with love and kindness. And that's where your freedom is. Someone's trying to make you change. Someone's trying to perhaps get groups together, the fellowship groups together. They're trying to have them see you a certain way. They could be traveling to do this. But you're going to be successful at gaining your freedom from this just by staying who you are. We have a test here. Yes, it's just a test. It's a test for everybody involved. It's a test for the person it's happening to. It's a test for the people who are doing it. I had a man come up to me the other day at Dollar Tree. He was elderly. He proceeded to, he acted like he knew me. It was weird. He was asking me if I was involved with someone and if I had kids, and he said, I'm not going to take your number, but I would like to give you mine. And I let him know. I said, well, I apologize, but I won't call you, because I've learned at an early age that you don't approach men. You know, you don't, I don't take the lead in dating ever. If someone's interested, they'll make it known that they're interested, and they'll make the effort. I guess I'm just kind of old school that way. Once, there is a relationship or something, or when when it naturally happens, then I will probably, like, if something happens and it kind of reminds me of something already that had happened between he and I, if we had ever gone on a date or something, or if we had a conversation, then I may reach out and just say something about it. Like maybe if it's their birthday, I may say, oh, happy birthday. Or if we were talking about, let's just say that they have a unique name, and I walked by something and I saw their name on a billboard or in a book that was sitting on a shelf inside of a coffee shop that I was at, I may say, "Oh, look what I found," just kind to say, "Isn't this interesting that this happened?" But that's usually as far as I'll go, as far as like if it's a new kind of situation that's happening. Um, but anyway, this man told me that first he told me he was from Milan, and he was making a comment about how the people were out in this area, that they weren't very friendly. He had said that he was from Milan. He moved to this area. He has a son or a child who's a Navy SEAL, and then he has another child who's um, also high ranking in the military. And then he said he had been in the military, and then he mentioned that he had actually did 20 years in the Los Angeles Police Department, which I found interesting because he said maybe he moved from Los Angeles to out here, but he made it seem like he was from Milan, like recently, like that was something, right? Um, when he had asked me if I was seeing someone, I said no, and he goes, "Oh, I would like to, maybe we can be friends or something." And I'm like, I don't, I don't have a real interest in having any friends like that. You know what I mean? Especially because of just when I brought up the fact when he was like, "Well, why aren't you dating or whatnot?" And he tried to make it seem like, "Well, you're never going to find love." And I'm thinking, "Yes, I will." And he says, "Well, why don't you have it already?" And I said, "Because I just think that God uses me as a test for people. I think that perhaps that is just my purpose, and that has been my purpose. So, God tests others' hearts by by me being in their life or coming across their path. And I'm not trying to say that in some like, oh yeah, God uses me. No. It's just like literally I may come across as being naive to some people. He goes, "Oh, I don't think you're naive." I'm like, "No." He goes, "I think you're really smart, and I think you're very," and I kind of just was thinking to myself, it's like we've spoken for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. It's like, why would you think I'm smart? That's just, I don't know. I just found it a little odd. It's like here lately, it's been people who have approached me just act like they know me, by using words of "I find you so intriguing," when it's like there's nothing intriguing on a dating profile because I had a date. Well, it's just still up. I only have one on the site, so if anyone comes across a duplicate, it's not me. Um, but it's like I'll mention that I do art or I want to help people or just very, very basic because I do that purposely so that way people don't accommodate our conversations or interactions or messages based on what it is that they think I'm going to want to hear or what they think I'm going to be interested in based on what's on my profile. And I know it's kind of a catch-22, but it's like in my profile, it states that I have an interest to start a business and to help people. So I don't know why that would be something that's intriguing, right? So, and that person was also in law enforcement. So I just think it's just interesting. Um, it's just interesting. Anywho, so going back to the test, I told him I think, I really feel that people think that I'm naive and that they could just treat me any kind of way, and that, it's unfortunate because if they're going to treat someone poorly, then, they're going to have to reap the karma of that. It's like I don't want them to have to face karma of their choices, but I mean, it's just the way that God designs things, right? So it's like if I'm already accepting the fact that perhaps my whole purpose of being here is to, be part of this whole thing that we call life, as far as staying true to myself and authentic and allowing people to be who they are, then I accept that as being my entire purpose until um, I'm allowed to perhaps have something of my own as far as a kind, loving type of interaction with someone. Um, so so I'm saying that as far as it's like anyone who's treated me poorly, that's a test for me to see how I'm going to respond or react to that interaction or situation. Just like I had my leave of absence with my job, it's like I never was angry at them. I just really just was hoping that they do the right thing and allow me to transfer to another place. But I was told I was not going to transfer, that I was going to have to stay in that building. And it was just not a healthy environment. It was just, I mean, there was multiple situations that were just toxic, and I wanted to transfer and she was not going to let me. So, I mean, that was her test, right? But when you face things with this, with love in your heart, it's like you can't go wrong. You can't make the wrong decision if you've got love in your heart and you just want what's best for the best outcome, right? So it's like, how can you go wrong with that? And maybe other people are wanting you to explode like some kind of volcano, but when you come back and you're just like, you're just loving and you're just kind and you're patient and you're understanding and you're empathetic, how can they, or why would they be mad, right? Why are you mad because someone's nice? Unless they have some other kind of issues that are going on. So, I mean, that's the test. And then, of course, that's up to them to figure that other part out, to see why they're like that. That's not my business. I just have to do my part and what's true to myself and what's true to my heart. Okay, 6, we've got sanctuary. That is what keeps my sanctuary. And we've got the nest, an empty nest, perhaps. Maybe someone's got an empty nest, or maybe someone is creating a nest in order to fill that nest with some eggs. The birds are off looking for food, perhaps. The birds are off flying around. They're having a good time. They don't have to just sit at home, right? The home will be there when you get there. This part that's needing to be filled will be filled when the time is right, when it's appropriate. We've got the plus sign. We've got a hotel. A hotel underneath the bless those who curse you. Maybe you were staying at a hotel and somebody was being rude. We've got the penguin, someone left. Maybe someone blew up and left, but this penguin was just like, you know what? This is for the birds. That reminds me when I had to stay at the hotel because I was on my leave of absence, and then my landlord wanted to sell her unit. It's like, it's hard to get a place to rent when you are on a leave of absence, right? So, what was my point? Had to leave the group, had to stay at the hotel. I guess let's see what's next. A stick in the mud. I mean, someone could probably say I was a stick in the mud while I was at the hotel. It's like I never partied, I never traveled, I didn't go anywhere. I was just recouping. I was just trying to heal from the situation and the stress from that toxic situation that I had to do the leave of absence from. We had the mermaid here. She's living according to her environment, but she's still paying attention to the boats that are coming by. You got to keep that eye out. She's a mermaid. She's not the siren. It's like she's not the fun one, right? She's still a mystery, though, because it's like, do they really know if mermaids are real or not? So she's kind of a mystery. Someone's stubborn. Maybe she's a goody two-shoes, because we've got a donkey being a jackass. Someone was upset that someone was being a goody two-shoes and staying in their sanctuary, minding their own business, getting their swim on. Maybe somebody left because someone was being a stick in the mud and they weren't having all this fun that they wanted them to have. The frizzy hair. It's driving them nuts that this person is not trying to gallivant or be the person that they're wanting them to be. Maybe someone's nervous about having this empty nest. Maybe they wanted someone to be upset or nervous. Like that man in the store kept trying to insinuate that I was not ever going to be in a loving relationship. And I was just thinking that's also weird to say to someone. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, I will. I know that I will because that's God's promise. And if I'm not, I'm fine with that because I'm used to it. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm here to fulfill whatever God's the most highest purpose is, and you can use whatever entity, I don't know if entity name is the appropriate way to even address it, but you can use whoever you want to call him. For you, it's like I'm okay with the Most High and what he decides and what he wants. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with being a team player. I'm fine with, whatever I need to do in order for whatever needs to be done. I mean, I trust. So that won't ever change. We've got Mr. Hyde here. As I said, that won't ever change. Mr. Hyde is the nice one during the day. We've got a shark here. A shark under the hotel. And under the bless those that curse you. The shark is always going to circulate, right? Circle the seas to decide if they're going to go ahead and zero in on whatever it is that they're trying to zero in on. I mean, there could have been a shark at somebody's hotel. There could have been someone at the hotel who's been saying something or who's hunting someone or trying to track someone down. We've got a scroll. They might be scrolling on the internet for them. They could be scrolling on the apps, trying to locate this person, trying to watch what they're doing, trying to hear what they're saying, trying to see what they're doing. I think I already said that. We've got the genie in the bottle. One of the people who worked at the front desk at a hotel kept always telling me in a text, "You're such a gift. You're a gift every day. You're such a gift." And it was so nice when he first said it, but then it was like after you say it for the third time, I'm thinking, okay, well, what am I missing here? Why does he keep saying this over and over again? And that's why I was saying that, because they had several people leaving the hotel when I was there. They had like probably 4 people who worked there who left the hotel, and they decided they weren't going to work there. And I also noticed that a lot of the people who worked there, I shouldn't say a lot, I think like 2 or 3, were actually from, they had previously worked at Disneyland. And I'm like, well, that's interesting that all these people who are working at Disneyland are now working at this hotel. So that's really interesting. Because I always thought that you had to get training in order to be a front desk person, because I always thought it would be fun. But roller skate is here. Maybe somebody wanted someone just to be granted some wishes, and someone just wanted to skate on by and take the easy way. Broom, cleaning stuff up, sweeping it under the rug. Maybe someone's jumping the broom. Deep waves, someone's in their emotions. Someone has been meticulous in their plan and taking care of something. Maybe in cleaning something up. The hummingbird feeder, that bacteria. Be mindful of your hummingbird feeders. I'm going to say it every single time. Be mindful of your hummingbird feeders and make sure that you're cleaning out the part where they put their little beaks in, because they can get infected by the mildew that builds up there. Nope, here comes the siren. She'll say and do anything in order to get what she wants. And she's hanging out with that shark. We've got the toolbox. Usually people like that have an empty toolbox. Maybe someone's going through apps in order to learn and how to fill their toolbox. Maybe someone's emotionally erupting, so they had to walk away from the group, and maybe now they're going and they're trying to see what people are saying. They're looking into tools and how to deal with those emotions, perhaps. We've got a butterfly. Something is evolving. These wishes and dreams are evolving. Staying constant in facing fears with love. Your thoughts. Relaxing your thoughts. Minding your business with your thoughts. Test. Your thoughts are even being tested, not just your actions and how you treat people. We've got an activity book connecting the dots and adding some color here. Cleaning things up. I wish I would have done all the cards on this color paper. That's a bummer. I like how these look, but sanctuary, stubborn, broom, activity book. We've got the knight coming out now with the horse, a game of chess. Someone's coming in, chivalry. Maybe someone sees what's going on here. Where is our center card? It's going to be this one, the genie. Some wishes are going to be granted. If we do the work, the wishes will be granted, right? All you got to do is shine up that genie's bottle. We've got a worm, someone trying to worm their way in. It could be worms are the bacteria that someone's trying to deal with here. Success. Someone trying to lure. Someone's trying to tempt. Tempt somebody with some nectar. Someone's trying to be nice. Someone's going to give some kind of award. We've got a microphone. The siren is on the mic. Trying to say something, causing attention to something. Maybe someone's being seen as a siren because they are saying something. We did have that forced be quiet in the cut. We've got a nomad and a hobo. That's so old school. With the little hobo stick, someone being homeless or even just a nomad. Maybe someone's going to just drive around or just travel. Wandering, aimlessly wandering. SE actual energy here. Sacral chakra energy as well. Transformation. T-shirt, someone is doing casual. Casual is coming in under the roller skates. Someone's just trying to skate by and keep it casual. Maybe someone's thinking something's casual, or they just assumed maybe that the mermaid was casual, or they were testing to see if this mermaid was just a person who took things casually. I do have to say that man at the store, the one with the kids that were in the Navy SEALs, and he was 20 years at the police department, he shook my hand 3 times during our 5-minute conversation. It was odd. And I looked it up as far as like what is the meaning, like spiritual meaning of shaking hands, and it is an exchange of energy. I know that I have heard that you need to be mindful of who you're shaking hands with for whatever reason. I did spray my hands with holy water when I got out of the store, so I don't know what happened there. We've got this blockage here with the traffic cone, to be mindful, to guide someone's path, to keep someone out, to alert someone that they need not be there, or it's being reserved for someone else. Maybe someone's connecting the dots on somebody's path. Maybe how someone was keeping things cleaned up. Stubborn and staying in their sanctuary. And we've got balding, or a bald-headed person. And this person, I believe, the one with the 20 years in the police department, really pretty eyes. He was probably about 5'4", 5'5". He was bald, from what I understand. Because he was obvious. I think he was wearing a wig, for sure, because you could see the line at the top. So I'm assuming, I'm making an assumption that he was bald. But someone can also feel vulnerable if they're balding, right? Didn't we have the vulnerable card? Where was it? It was in the cut of the deck, wasn't it? That vulnerability there. Okay, our outcome cards. Dress up. A male is dressing up. Maybe he was dressing up his hairdo. A cactus. Maybe he's a prickly guy and he was pretending like he wasn't a prickly guy. He was actually trying to be Mr. Hyde side of things. Maybe he had some bacteria on his hands and he wanted to make sure that I got it. I don't know. We've got a rabbit here. Trying to move real quick. He was a little dry. There's no risk for the wicked. Like none, nada. They're just really working, right? Maybe they're just trying any kind of way to make themselves come across like these really conservative, reserved individuals. Like they're just, they dress up. It's a man, he's dressed up and he's actually very just dry. Maybe his well has run dry. He's trying super, super hard for whatever reason. We've got our hydrant here. It always makes me think of the fires with the hydrants. And then we've got the eggplant. This is a berry, folks. Did you know it was eggplants are a berry? I had no idea. It's a fruit also. I had no idea. It's a berry because it comes from the flower's ovaries. Pineapples are also berries. I didn't know that either. All right, so there we have it. You have to excuse me. I've been up since 5 and I only had like 5 hours of sleep last night, and then I only had 6 the night before that and 6 the night before that. So my apologies. We've got gossip upside down. Maybe someone's realizing that this stuff is just gossip, that someone's actually more evolved than what people are giving them credit to be. We have tipsy upside down. This person does not get tipsy. We've got buddy here, and it's on top of filter upside down. So someone's not filtering something. They want to be friends. Maybe they were just coming across saying that they're being friends. We've got spy here on top of target. So someone could be just spying on a target. We've got a flame. Maybe someone's spying for someone's twin flame, or maybe someone's trying to start some passion. Trying to see. We've got the cheese here. Smile. You're on candid camera. And then we've got whack. That's very whack. Smile for the camera. Flame in the cheese. Flame in the camera. A wish here coming in too. This one's wish right side up. With the genie lamp. That's confirmation of the genie lamp. And then we've got the success over there with the Statue of Liberty. The pursuit of happiness. Freedom. So maybe there's a change coming in. Opportunity. We have 4. That's April. Could have started in April. An event in April. A stability. Donate is upside down, not donating. Don't donate to something, maybe an event. Don't donate your 2 cents, perhaps. Don't give more than you can. Don't volunteer information. Diplomacy. Be diplomatic. Don't lower your standards. Don't agree to something that you don't want to do. Like he wanted to, like, let's be friends. Well, how am I going to see you again? And I'm said, well, I guess if it's meant for us to see each other, we'll run into each other here again. And I told him, I said, just be true to who you are and continue to be a nice individual. Because, I mean, he was cordial. He was nice to me. But it was just a little fish. Intervention upside down. Childhood upside down. Booze upside down. Option. Balance is upside down. Someone is off balance. Trying to make it seem like maybe you're an option. This person, or maybe you're not a drinker. We've got L, first, middle, or last. We've got would upside down, so maybe wouldn't. And then we've got a beginning. Manifest upside down. W upside down, so it's an M. But we've got would and W upside down, which is interesting. It's first, middle, or last, so if that's a name. I'm going to leave it there. I still need to go for a walk. I'm so pooped. I want to say thank you so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my other 2 channels so I can go live on those. One of the channels is I use other people's decks, and other people's decks that I've purchased. And then the other one is asking Google questions. He'll interpret the cards or he'll do a parable story for us. So that way we can get just a different point of view. And he gets a little creative. And then I ask questions about stuff. So it's kind of cool. All right, with that being said, make it a great day. And thank you so much for being here. Oh, the reason why I wanted you to subscribe so I can go live on those 2 channels. And then I don't have to worry about the storage on my phone anymore. That would be awesome. One of the channels only needs 10 more people. And then the other one needs 33. So I would love it if you guys would join those just so I can get live. Anywho, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. Take care.